Hello. This week we talked about boundaries and we read this book, Saying No to Say Yes: Everyday Boundaries and Pastoral Excellence. David C. Olson and Nancy G. Dever, I guess is how you say it. This is a topic that is very meaningful to me, especially this week because I have a friend, my best friend, has been asking me about if I had any material about burnout. He was doing a study on burnout and how ministry and how people get burnt out in the church and everything. So this was definitely I took pictures of and sent him resources from this book in particular because we were reading it and it just was very helpful for him, and hopefully he'll go out and purchase the book. But it's also been very important to me because of my upbringing. I saw how people in ministry were always giving of themselves, especially the pastor, but they were not taking care of their needs. They were not taking care of their physical needs. They weren't taking care of their family needs, and they were very good, very high. If we go back to that wheel of the circle, wherever with the different parts of our lives, their spiritual lives was very high on the circle, but then their personal, their family life, and everything else was very low. So then their spokes was very, I'm saying very a lot, but their circle was not round. Their wheel wasn't round, and I've seen that, and I have had taken issue with that. And it's one of the reasons why I am adamantly trying to live a balanced life, and why I have chosen to pursue MAPT and pastoral care, because of people like that, and helping to care for the self, care for who you are, care for your family, and to have that balanced life. That is something that I I strive for, but something that I will say I'm not yet arrived, not that I have attained, as Paul in the Bible would say, not that I have arrived at my destination, but trying to say no to say yes. And I also shared with the class that for me, it's not so much, Craig talking about boundaries, it's not so much of physical boundaries, because as my introvert and my introvertedness is very strong. So I will separate from a crowd in a minute. If I am feeling overwhelmed, I have no problem in going home and being by myself. I'll do that. But for me, it is also setting those emotional boundaries and learning to hold those, especially in the work environment, in an environment where I might be in the leadership role, because I am the type where I will open up to anybody if I feel safe with you, if you create a non-judgmental safe space for me, then and I feel a connection to you, I will open up and I will share my life story, and there are no filters, no boundaries. I will be 100% me. But in ministry, sometimes you're not able to do that, especially as a minister or pastor. Sometimes people will not be able to handle your truth. And that's been one of the things in my life that I've struggled with, because I am able to handle and to love people, and to, no matter what they tell me, good, bad, and different, and I'm able to see them, to accept their truth, and then still love them and not treat them any differently. But people are not always able to do that, and it has gotten me into to trouble on the job, being friendly and not even meaning any harm by it. But people have read into my friendliness and said I was overstepping boundaries and stuff, and because I'll just treat you like you're my long lost best friend, and everyone is not wanting that. Everybody's not accepting of that. So that's an area that I am constantly working on, especially when I as I shared in the last video, that I've longed for, I think it was the last video, I've longed for those deeper connections, and I've longed for soul friends, or whatever you want to call them, soulmates. But I don't have that right now. So when I do find someone like that, I tend to gravitate to them and leech onto them and make them something more, and even gravitate too fast to people, because it might be a friendship, a budding friendship, but we're not best friends second day around, and I might start treating them like a best friend. So realizing that that is my place to set boundaries and figure out what it is that I am doing, and to just more than anything else, just to be mindful of those things, and realizing that is an area of, I want to say, area of growth that's just a part of me and how I'm wired, and to be cognizant of that, and to not put everything into someone else, or to overstep boundaries, just to be mindful of that. If I know I have a propensity to do that, then to walk lightly, and to govern myself accordingly.